Welcome to The Point. I'm your host, Eric Mitchell. Today is Monday, October 26th, and in my world, it's called my wife's birthday. Happy birthday, babe. It's your birthday. Hey, I didn't get to tell you on TV. So I don't know why I have Kermit's voice, but that's what we're doing today. It's Monday, so hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Enjoyed this beautiful fall weather. I grew up in Florida, so I never got to experience the changing seasons because it was either hot and muggy and rainy or kind of cooler, like 70, and rainy. I think it snowed twice in my entire life when I lived in Florida. Then I moved to Northern California where we were able to see snow whenever we wanted to, living like 45 minutes from Lake Tahoe in beautiful Folsom, California. Shout out to Folsom. And then we moved to the Pacific Northwest after spending time in Hawaii and everywhere else. We moved to the Pacific Northwest where we see all the seasons. So it's beautiful. You folks who live where the seasons change, you know what I'm talking about. These trees become just this beautiful color. It's fun to go out and see it and just take it all in, and it's good to see season changing kind of make you feel good. I love fall, the smell of fall. I just love fall. Fall's like my favorite. So hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Not a lot in the news. We got the election coming. That's the biggest news we have. So I'll keep it short. I know Friday I went really long, but I went really long in my intro, so I'm going to make up to it. Really short intro today. We have a great conversation today. Was able to bring in my good buddy, Richard Herman. You guys know Richard. He's on the show quite often. He's here, especially during the election, to talk about what's going on. We were able to sit down and have a chat before the debate. It was important because we didn't know what to expect. So I wanted to call in the heavy guns. The conversation is very good. Now, I will warn you, it comes with a parental advisory sticker. So if you got any little ones around, put your headphones in, please, or send them out of the room. I'm not saying that we get vulgar, but I'm just saying if you can hear it on CBS, you'll probably hear it here. So if you watch NCIS, you've probably heard the same language. So just saying, that's what happened. I'm just giving you the warning. I'm a nice guy. So that's my opening for today. All I'm going to remind you guys is, again, make sure you're voting and doing your part. If you're able-bodied and you could do it, go volunteer to work at one of these polling centers. We need the help. We need to make sure we can get everybody processed. People are standing in lines for 6 hours to vote. This is amazing. The turnout for voting in 2020 is just amazing. So it doesn't matter who you vote for, folks. Just make sure you go out and rock that vote. Now, today's guest, like I said, is Richard Herman. So we come back from the break. We got my good buddy and chief legal analyst for To The Point, Richard Herman. See you guys after the break. Welcome to the show, Richard. How you doing today?
Hey, Eric, my brother, how are you?
Oh, just a few short days left where we're going to do the right thing. 2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks. You can make it.
We can. We just got to survive November 3rd. Funny story, we watched over the last weekend. I'm going to say it. I'm a huge West Wing fan. Always have loved the West Wing. Huge Martin Sheen fan. Right. Bradley Whitford. They did a reunion. And they filmed it on HBO. It was for a bipartisan group, which I loved. It was so powerful. I had my kids sit down and watch it. It really fired me up that we have a lot of good people, and the story of all Hollywood's bad. It was great to watch. Number one, it was West Wing. It was one of my favorite episodes. It was good to see the folks that they had there and what they talked about. Yeah. And remembering good times when we had a president that had a more than 100-word vocabulary, when we could still get along, or even recalling, and it brought up attention to my daughter. We were talking about how politics used to be different. We're going to talk about the debate today, but we're going to start with the nomination, but I'm going to say this. The difference, my daughter said, she goes, it's weird in debates. She's like, I just watched a video where some man was berating Barack Obama and John McCain jumped up and corrected him, put his hand up and said, no, we will not be doing that. And she's like, I don't think that would happen in 2020. I said, no, actually, our president would go stand next to the hateful racist guy and jump on top of that. So
look at the governor in Michigan. I mean,
crazy, right?
They uncover a plot. They were going to kidnap her, try her, and murder her. And The FBI uncovered it, saved her life, and 10 days later, Trump is screaming in Michigan, lock her up, lock her up. This man is insane. He's criminal. He's beyond insane. He incites violence all over the country. And, everything is, they're doing this to me. The news reporters are doing it to me. The news stations are doing it to me. The Fauci's doing it to me. Everybody is doing it to him, except him. He's perfect.
Perfect. Hey, he could go on Fox. And even Fox is a target for him, which I think is funny because it's like the official Trump network. And, he pops on there from time to time. Speaking of Fox and doing weird things, and this show is not a pro-Fox show, so we'll just put that one out there.
I'm not either, so.
Did you see Sean Hannity put a camera aimed at Vice President Biden's home and is filming it round the clock? The same man who doesn't like being stalked by the media because he's dating Ainsley Everhart, one of the hosts of Fox and Friends, and they both conveniently got divorced around the same time. This man, but him and that little bow tie wearing idiot, Tucker Carlson, with this, I'm a victim. It's the same thing, right? It's at the media, these mouthpieces, and they cause craziness. Just reading that FBI report about what they were going to do to the governor of Michigan blew me away. And I'm going, Hannity, really? That's the vice president of the United States of America with a Secret Service detail. You're now encouraging idiots, and you know that there's enough of them, that they'll put on their little red hats and run in there. I'm like, this is what we're doing 2 weeks before because you believe he's in his basement? I'm like...
Hannity is an uneducated idiot moron, and I can't watch him. I can't listen to him. If he's on any news, I have to turn it off, because I can't give this guy 2 seconds. Oh. He's just a fraud, a joke, an ignorant, uneducated fucking moron. Yeah. And I cannot listen to him. He's a comedian. He's an entertainer. He's not a newsman. And so let him get his head high up Trump's ass because, like they said in Gladiator, the time to celebrate yourself shall soon come to an end. And it's, less than 2 weeks now. So it's over.
So let's hop into this.
He pissed off. Look at the voting right now. Trump has pissed off everybody in this country. The poor people in Texas and in Georgia waiting 10, 12 hours to vote. Oh my God, I tip my hat to them. I'm cheering them on. I'm so proud of them. But he pissed everyone off. And that's why you see record voting. The Dems may take Texas. I mean, this is really...
Pennsylvania. Florida is huge in contention. The numbers of people who have voted in Florida are beyond 01 numbers.
65 over. Trump killed it last time. Now they're going for Biden. Yep. If Biden gets that, it's over in Florida. Biden wins Florida.
It's something we've never seen before, and you're seeing it everywhere. And everybody, talk about hitting everybody walking around with. It's like he ran through a forest full of beehives and hit them all with sticks. He went after the NBA. What did the NBA do? They took 2 days off. They sat down with their leadership and got owners to agree to open their arenas as safe polling places. So if there's foul weather, you can come inside and vote, and you make sure you're safe. The NFL's doing it. I'm like, so how's that working out, Donald? Now everybody's voting, and they're voting.
Fauci is an idiot and a disaster. Fauci. The guy has lost his mind. He's relying on someone who is a radiologist, by the way, who hasn't practiced medicine in 10 years. This is who he ousted Fauci in favor of this idiot talking head. He's reckless. It rises to the level of intent. And, people start dying from this thing, and they continue to die from it. And Trump has no plan. He mocks it. He still mocks it. And he puts down Fauci. The guy served 6 presidents. He's the leading expert in the world. And Trump says, Biden's going to rely on science.
No.
You're damn right, you moron. No, he's going to forget Fauci and call you in to advise him. Yeah. That's what Biden will do if he's president.
Because he's a doctor.
You ignorant moron.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't end. Every day, you think it's over. It's never over.
No.
Because every day, there's no way tomorrow. I don't believe he will complete this debate tomorrow. I think he'll stage it. He'll start it off. then he'll try to talk and they'll mute him, and then he'll start screaming over the mute. He's gonna upset Biden because he's gonna be screaming when they mute him, and then I think he's just gonna put a little rant and rave. You're unfair. This is all pro Biden. I'm leaving. I think he'll walk out.
Yeah,
because he needs.
They've already started that talk. I mean, again, we'll go pick on Fox again. Brian Kilmeade went after the moderator. This moderator tomorrow night went after her, physically said that her parents contributed to the Democratic Party, so therefore she was given this. Not the fact that she's a talented journalist that happens to work for NBC that was selected. And it's the same time, it's like, wait a minute, Brian. Christopher Wallace, by the way, works for your network, and he's a registered Democrat. You didn't have a problem with that. The same thing they had with Samantha Guthrie when Samantha was asking these amazing questions, like, do you support white supremacy? Denounce it right now. Or do you really believe that President Obama killed SEAL Team 6 and Osama bin Laden is hanging out on some island like Jeffrey Epstein had with Tupac and Biggie? And they're all hanging out together? Do you really believe that? Elvis is there? I mean, I don't know what this guy believes anymore, but everything is everybody else's fault. But the whole point I have you on today is I want to talk about the Supreme Court nomination, which with 2 weeks going before an election, I got to be honest, I'm amazed that we're going through this process when we have, I don't know, millions of Americans out of work, a stimulus package that still hasn't been done because that Ku Klux Klansman McConnell doesn't want to pay it. As of even this recording this morning, he said he's advising the president not to do anything, even though Pelosi's actually working and they're getting something done because Americans need it. People are going to die over this. You think election is big, but McConnell's like, I want to get, this crazy nut job through the nomination, and the questions were so softball.
McConnell's an egomaniac. It didn't come from him, therefore he won't support it after the election. There's no way that's going through. And as far as the Supreme Court goes, listen, you have to understand something. This Amy Coney Bryant, listen, she was appointed. She was a law school professor. So those who teach can't practice. Those who can't practice teach. So she was not an adjunct. So I'm an adjunct. I practice and I do both. So she never practiced law. She taught. She taught from books, students, and she gets elevated to a federal judgeship by Trump 2.5 years ago. He elevates her to a federal judgeship. Federal, that's for life. Federal. Don't have to run for elections. Don't have to answer to anybody. You have this appointment for life. Now, so she's a judge for 2.5 years. Now she gets nominated to the Supreme Court of the United States. And this woman is a devout member of a cult sect of Christianity, people of praise. This is what is ingrained in her brain from a child. This is a sick, insane cult that she embraces. And for her to say, I can separate that from the study of law, and I'm an originalist, so whatever these guys thought 200 years ago, that's what it should be today, because we shouldn't modify or we shouldn't change anything and evolve with the times. We should just, I'm an originalist. She's proud of that because that was Scalia's big deal, So when Obama had the appointment 11 months before the election, every Republican rant and rave, can't do it. There's an election coming up. People's voice have to be heard. We're not going to take his appointment. We're going to hold it off because you don't do that when there's an election coming up. So for 11 months, they jammed Obama and they didn't even consider it. Plus McConnell would not consider 150 federal judgeships that Obama appointed that they wouldn't even consider. That's why Trump had so many to appoint, because McConnell would not let Obama appoint these judges. So now, where are we now? Now she is going to be on the Supreme Court. And you listen to her, just besides the fact that her voice sounds like chalk on a blackboard, she's incompetent. She has to grasp the reality of what's going on here. Everybody can see it's so transparent. We have a deal. We're going to put your crazy conservative ass on the Supreme Court. You are going to knock out Roe v. Wade. You are going to knock out Obamacare, Affordable Care Act. Those are the first two things you're going to do. Then you're going to attack women's rights. You're going to do that, right? And obviously she said yes. And those are the terms in which she is now appointed and going to sit, and there's nothing the Democrats can do. She's going to be on that bench. She's going to decide that case November 10th. She's going to knock out Obamacare. She's going to overrule Roe v. Wade because that's ingrained in her brain. She can't separate that from an objective analysis of the law. She can't. They told Obama, you must replace someone similar to the views and ideology of Scalia so that we keep balance on the bench. That's what they were screaming that. Does this woman, does she anywhere near the ideology of the person she's replacing? Is she? You can't get more opposite than Ruth Bader Ginsburg with this sick cretin they're going to put on the Supreme Court. And then they have the unbelievable balls to say, Biden's going to stack the court. He's going to stack the court. Really? Well, you know what? Fuck yeah, he should. He should add 3 more Supreme Court judges to balance that out. He should add 150 more federal court judges. And now we're talking. And he has to do it because look what they're doing. Millions of people have voted already. They've already voted. And the Republicans, they don't care about giving people money to get through this pandemic. They don't care about people who are suffering and can't pay their bills and being evicted and sick and can't buy medicine. They don't care about that. They want to get this woman Supreme Court because this is so important. Get her on the bench. That'll be the legacy of Trump.
Yep.
Put these, and then when Biden takes over, they can move to impeach Kavanaugh. They can look into her dealings with Trump also. They can move to impeach McConnell. I was hoping that he would lose that Senate race. I guess he's just too strong. I guess they're too
I don't understand how he's personally, Richard, losing. I don't know how he's beating Amy McGrath, number one. I don't know what's going on in Kentucky. She is a Marine Corps veteran. She's sharp. And that creepy laugh that he does, he's just disrespectful. He doesn't like women. It's the same as that piece of crap Pence. He's just an idiot. I mean, you know he's full of crap. Even flies are attracted to him.
People in Kentucky, they don't understand that McConnell is the wealthiest senator in the Senate.
Yeah.
Kentucky is the poorest state how did he get to be so wealthy? And what did he do for the citizens of Kentucky? Nothing. He's corrupt. And they still vote for him because they're racist or they're crazy people, or they're ignorant, they don't know how to read. I don't know what they do in Kentucky. They ride horses and stuff. I don't know what they do there. How can they vote for McConnell? The guy's an animal. He doesn't care about
did you see
country.
Lindsey Graham is still predicted in polls to win? This is after a man who we'll go back to the Supreme Court. Remember, he sat there during his line of questioning and said, missing the good old days of segregation.
I think he's going to lose. I
hope he does. Lose. I love watching him cry on TV. It makes me excited.
Yeah,
I'm like, cry some more, you little... Oh, they're just so...
The court is going to be a disaster with her on there. And you look at the Supreme Court judges, Catholics make up 20% of the country, and 6 of those judges are Catholic. And it doesn't matter what religion you are, but when you allow that to interfere with your thought process, well, that's a big thing. And that's not what we want on the Supreme Court. So if you can be objective, I don't care what religion you are.
Yeah.
But if you can't be, if you think that abortion is against the rule of God, then you can't sit as a judge. You just can't. And they don't care. They want her. She has a mission. Trust me, this woman is on a mission. She's going to do that. There's no hope for those two things. She's going to knock them out. That's just reality.
So let me ask you this before we stop for this, and I'm going to tell my team to bring you back. I think we just need to have you here once a week till election and probably after. So let me ask you this, Richard. This is a question that my daughter knew I was interviewing you today, and she asked. Because nobody will give her a straight answer.
Tell her I said hi, by the way, please.
I will, for sure. So she asked this question. If we get, she's obviously going to make it through. The Republicans did nothing. I mean, she had a blank notepad. You are a seasoned, decorated, legend defense attorney, as it is. You're an legal expert. You actually are. You're not a politician. You actually, number one, you've already admitted you actually teach it and you practice. We already know. It's very easy to Google you and see exactly your amazing record. She gets in with her blank notepad, not understanding that protesting is also guaranteed as a right in the Constitution. One of the things you did, by the way, leave off is gay marriage. She doesn't like that. It's come out that she sits on a board that is against that lifestyle to a huge, to the point where it's a huge issue with her. So again, we're going to have to deal with that issue where we're going to start deciding biblical terms on who can be in love with each other or not, and it's going to be hurt. But the question is this for my daughter, and I think a lot of Americans. We get to the point past November 3rd, we're already being warned that this election will not be decided due to absentee ballots being counted and voters' ballot being counted till weeks later. If this goes to the Supreme Court and she will be sitting on it, will she have to excuse herself because she was appointed by this president weeks before an election that clearly to me is like stacking the deck in your favor for a yes vote, because she's clearly a yes person, having a notepad with no notes on it, not answering any questions, and having jokers like Ted Cruz, so softball questions. Does she have a right to put him in? I mean, does she have to recluse herself is my question.
Your daughter's very intuitive, and that's a great question, And that's why basically every professor in Notre Dame wrote a letter to her saying, under these circumstances, you can't allow this nomination to go through. You must recuse yourself right now. Let the people vote, then pick it up from there. But you cannot, because it looks so bad, and it is so bad. And if it flies like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And she doesn't care.
No.
She thinks she deserves to be 2.5-year judge. She deserves lifetime on the United States, the highest position any attorney can get in the country. She thinks she's entitled to that, and she deserves it, and she wants it. And there's nothing anybody can do. She should recuse herself if that issue gets to the Supreme Court. She will not recuse herself. Forget it. Don't even have one sliver of hope she would do that. But have the hope for this. If the Democrats take Texas, if the Democrats take Florida, when they take Pennsylvania, it's a blowout. It's not even close. And we're going to know that on election night. So we're not going to have to, sweat it out and, count all the ballots and this. It's going to be over. You're going to see they count Florida that night. If Biden wins Florida, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. And there's nothing Trump can do.
No.
Nothing. So while, the potential exists, like, Bush, Gore to go, with the Chads and go to the Supreme Court, this time, Trump has pissed so many people. Look at the lines of the people that are voting now. Those are like 90% Democrats voting. 90%. And although statistics show that this is what happens and the Republicans come out on election day and they vote in strength on election day, and everyone's worried about 2016. This is not 2016. Joe Biden is not Hillary Clinton. That's not a choice there. People don't hate Joe Biden. People hated Hillary. They do not hate Joe Biden. There is no Bill Comey standing up talking about resurrecting a criminal investigation and then a day or two before saying, oh no, she's been cleared. We don't have any of that going on right now. And you have the 65 and over vote is going to Biden, and you have suburban women voting for Biden.
True.
That's why, if you have any credence in these polls, it's going to be a blowout. Hillary won by 3 million votes. Biden should win by 10 million. I mean, he really should. So tell your daughter, relax. It's not going to come to the Supreme Court making a determination on this election. This is going to be over. It's going to be over and out.
Now, we are hearing, and I know on last Friday, some evidence was dropped by Cambridge Analytica whistleblower Brittany Kaiser, an amazing young woman who was part of the 2016, is now against Trump because she no longer can sleep at night because of the things the man does. She keeps dropping amazing breadcrumbs around that show what a crumb bumming is. It just amazes me, Richard, to be blatant that these people don't care about what evidence is dropped, these Trump supporters. I mean, the dude could... I don't think there's anything he could do wrong in their eyes. I mean, he's on a witch hunt. You brought up legal action. He failed to produce one shred of evidence that showed Obama did anything in 2016 to him that he's been talking about for 4 years. And now they're on this 2-week witch hunt on Hunter.
or the Hillary, or the emails, or Benghazi, or lock her up. That's all he yells is lock her. Meanwhile, how many of his own people have been locked up?
Yeah.
And he's going to get locked up because New York State's not going to stop.
No.
They are not going to stop with this guy. And he can get all the federal pardons and pardon himself and everything under the sun. It's not going to end. New York State is coming after him, and they're going to get him. They're going to get him on all the. He's got an account in China. He never disclosed. What's he doing with a bank account in China, paying $180,000 in taxes to them every year, and $1,500 in 10 years to the United States, and he's a billionaire? It's all going to come out, and Biden's going to form a commission when he gets in, and he's going to put a powerful person ahead of that commission, not with the charge, indict them all, not like Obama should be indicted, Hillary should be indicted, Biden should be indicted, there are crime sprees. He just talks out his ass. No, Biden will have a commission to investigate the corruption of the Trump administration and all the enablers and Trump. And if that yields fruit, you can bet whatever he pardoned himself with now, he's going to get indicted for stuff for that. So it's not over. And the Democrats just can't turn around after this is over and say, okay, we didn't vote strong enough last time, so, basically we had to live with the Senate and the president as Republican. No. This has been devastating to democracy, to the country, to the rule of law. And if the Democrats want to have any kind of credibility, and I'm not saying obsess on this, but they must investigate, and we have findings. We need findings, because this is the most corrupt administration in the history of the Republic of the United States. And we cannot just blink an eye and say, move on. You can't just move on because of what this animal and his enablers have done. You cannot just move on. The truth has to come out, and Barr has to be investigated, and McConnell and Graham and Devin Nunes and all these sick dudes that enabled him to do whatever he wanted. Not one Republican had enough courage and spine to stand up to this guy in 4 years or vote against him. Not one. What is that? I mean, these are just cult, selfish, unpatriotic, just worried about being reelected and afraid Trump's going to come after them on Twitter.
Hey, did you see the big news, though? In Florida, Matt Gaetz, who I just call the president's bitch boy or the yes man, the guy who just tweets and just nonsense nonstop. But he had a son a few weeks ago when he needed to have a son. He had a Cuban son. He's about 19. But 6 months before that, it was his page. Yeah, so I don't really know who he is. A good friend of our show, Mo Vila, keeps asking him whatever happened to him. We were just curious, but the report came out that Matt someone's running against him, who happens to be a Democrat and a Navy man, and that district that he's in is in Pensacola, which is a huge issue. The fact that Matt does absolutely nothing for the military at all. Matt's just he spends more time picking fights with celebrities than he does actually working, and he's constantly between him and Gorka, I don't know who tries to kiss the president's ass more publicly than those two. Gorka's not even a U.S. citizen. So, I really don't understand why he's got anyways, that dude's an enemy of the Marine Corps. But Matt Gaetz, he's supposedly going to lose. And I think we're going to see that across the board. Democrats, I think more people are becoming independent and voting for Democrats for the first time, stepping across the aisle, going, no, I'm done, you guys. Everybody who was afraid to step up, and I think that's been a big problem, is these people stepping up to the president and saying, no, I don't agree with you. You're saying dumb things, because they've let him get away with his military comments. Nobody silenced him about saying that Obama killed SEAL Team 6. Give me an outlandish break here that crap came out. We've gone long.
He's blasting Barr. He's blasting Barr for not indicting Obama and Hillary and Biden. And he's screaming at Barr, why didn't you do that? And this is current. This is going on currently. Yep. Someone asked him, is Barr going to be back? He says, I don't know, but, I'm not very happy with him. I'm not happy with him.
Well, he has to come back first for to worry about Barr coming back, and I don't think he's coming back. So,
he's not. Gaetz, as far as Gaetz goes, he's a Trump wannabe. Yeah. And all these Trump wannabes and these people that sold their soul to Trump, the big payback's coming, especially like Rudy Giuliani. The big payback is coming. You don't get to do this and abuse your position and abuse the trust of the American people. You don't get to do this and get away with it. There's going to be payback. And Gates, he's on the top 10 list. So let's just, look, can't get overconfident because we learned the lesson from 16, although I think it's completely different now. Everybody's got to go vote. You got to get out and vote. Get online, no matter how long that line is, or fill those ballots out and drop them in the box. Save the mail, because they're still trying to corrupt the mail system right now. But or if you have to mail it now. Get it out this week in the mail. Yeah. And we have to vote en masse, and we're doing that. Yeah. And it's going to, when the Democrats come out and vote, they win. Yep. It's simple. It's the history of voting. Yep. When the Democrats vote in their block, they win.
It's funny, and before you go, I got this amazing number, and I verified it. Was when they talk about elections in our country, the amount of voter fraud is 143 cases. Out of all of us Americans who have been voting for years, 143, not 143,000, not 14,300, 143 from all of us. So,
in 16, yeah, Trump was screaming, it's rigged, because he never thought he was going to win. He never, ever thought he was going to win in 16. So he's screaming, it's rigged, it's all fixed, it's rigged, everyone's against me. And lo and behold, he won. So what did he do? He handpicked a panel to investigate voter fraud of his own people. And they came back to him and they said, no voter fraud. His own people came back to him and said, there is no voter fraud. There is no widespread voter fraud. He says anything and everything out of his mouth. He's unhinged. He's lost it. He can't think coherently. He just spews insane ideas because that drums up his base. And, anything to be controversial. Do you denounce QAnon? I don't even know who they are. Really. The President of the United States, who is the head god of QAnon, who's saving the world, and his people never prepped him on who QAnon, and he's on Twitter all day long, and he doesn't know who, he just knows, they're against pedophilia. Oh, like you were with your buddy down in Florida on the boats, and you and your daughter? Like, really? Is that where you want to go here? I mean, it just doesn't end with this guy, and it won't end. And I'm telling you, Eric, the most dangerous time in this country is going to be from November 3rd until inauguration in January, what this animal's going to do during that period of time. Yep. And again, no one's going to stop him, and I fear for that period of time what this mental case is going to do to this country.
It's very scary. I'll end it with the fact that a report came out from high-level intelligence folks in the community that a lot of what we're seeing with these attacks that are coming out of nowhere are all Russian collusion again. I definitely believe the Russians are involved. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, he talks about he doesn't know what QAnon is. Remember, he's the same person who claims that with his great reading level, because he says he comprehends better than the rest of us, he read a report but didn't read a report that says the Russians are putting hits on our troops' heads. He says that doesn't happen. And again, it's the troops. Bounties. The bounties hits on us. Yes, I mean, because that's normal.
U.S. soldiers. Yep. And he wired money to pay him off for the hits. That's what happened there. And then you got Joe Biden, who's in California, decides to fly east and take his laptop and bring it to a repair shop in Delaware. Rudy is in Russia trying to drum up information on Biden and Ukraine. And then all of a sudden, Rudy comes back to the United States and says, oh, that's my friend who owns this repair shop. And all of a sudden they find this laptop and they find this is so people are not going for that. They're not buying this insanity. This Rudy Giuliani sick, corrupt mental case. Yeah. They're not buying him.
And mainstream networks aren't sharing it. I mean, the only people who have it is that nut jobs over at Newsmax who have Trump money involved, and that weak hack network that I don't even know, what are they, OANN, whatever, I can't find them on the dial, so they don't count. I'm like, if I can't find you on my TV, you're not a news network. I just want to put it out there. You're not reporting the news, you're a mouthpiece. And that network, by the way, has Trump money in it. Junior, who's making those creepy videos all the time. I think he has an opioid addiction. We should probably get him some help. I know that they don't like talking about that. They like focusing on Hunter's addictions.
His sons, the family was stealing money from a charity, Cancer with Kids. They were stealing money from it and got caught and got banned from ever doing another charity in New York again. These are the people you're dealing with.
Yep.
And they go big game hunting and put these animals, these beautiful animals. That's what they do, you know? They don't serve. They don't serve the military. They don't do anything for this country.
No.
They get up and spew like they think they're their father. It's coming again, Gladiator. The time to celebrate yourself shall soon come to an end.
Amen.
Less than 2 weeks now.
I love that movie.
Gotta vote.
We got to get you back, Richard. I love having you on. You're like one of my favorite humans to have on. So let's get you back on. Everybody else will have more coming at you after the break. Welcome. That's great. We're not welcome. Here we go. 3. There we go. Fuck that all up. That was fun. Welcome back to The Point. Again, I'm Eric Mitchell, and that was a great interview with Richard Herman. Always enjoy with Richard. He's very over the top, very outspoken, and I like him because he knows what he's talking about. He's been an expert for years with CNN, and he understands what's going on, and it's nice to be able to give him questions. So again, if you guys have questions, he's going to be appearing with us, if not every week, every other week for just the ongoing. If you have any questions for Richard Herman, please send them right now. You can put them in the comments. If you're on YouTube or C-Suite, please leave the comments there. Send them to us, DM them to us, or email us at hello@tothepointtv. Put in the subject line that you have a question for Richard Herman. Just put question for Richard Herman and make sure we get it to him. And we could read your comment on the air. We'll make sure we tag you and give you full credit for the question. But if you have a question for Richard Herman, please send those in. He will be appearing again next Monday, November 2nd. That's right, November 2nd will be on the show with us. And we're hoping on that show to actually also have the amazing Brittany Kaiser joining us the day before the election. She's been dropping information left and right about the Trump campaign. Very interesting articles out there. If you're interested in getting a few of those, just message the team and we'll make sure we get those links over so you can read what's going on. I don't know if you had a chance to check The Greatest Hack, but make sure you check it out. It's great insight as we get into the election time. I'm personally been binge watching The West Wing. Just absolutely love that show. So instead of The Office being watched, I'm watching The West Wing again. It's what I do. It's what I do. And Jordan, of course, got us addicted to The Vow. So that's done now. I think we have like 2 episodes left and we'll finish watching that. But hopefully you guys had a great weekend. I'm off to go spend some time with my beautiful bride. Take her out to dinner and have a wonderful evening with her. It is her birthday, so if you didn't already, send her a birthday message. Her name is Lucy Mitchell. You can find her all over the place on social media, and she loves birthday messages. She loves them. Loves them. Just send her a happy birthday. No, just kidding. I don't know. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but it's my wife's birthday, so I'm going to act like a giddy husband because that's what I do. Anyways, folks, if you know anybody who'd like to be a guest on our show, or you have a complaint, you'd like to be a guest, you have a positive comment, want to high five any member of our team, go ahead and email us at hello@tothepointtv.com. You can follow us on all the social channels because we're there except Pinterest and MySpace and TikTok and Snapchat. We're on all the other ones. We're on all the big socials, so make sure you check us out at all those. You can always check out our individual segments so you can see today's interview with Richard solo without all my commentary. You can check that out on our YouTube channel. Just go look it up. It's under To The Point, and you'll see it right there. It'll be today's episode will be appearing there, so you can always check that out. And as always, you can go check us out Monday through Friday on C-Suite TV, where that's more of a Netflix style for you, so you can go check out any episode and see it on C-Suite. Pretty awesome, right? So again, folks, thank you so much for tuning in today on this Monday. We appreciate you for watching. And as always, on behalf of the entire team here at To The Point, I'm Eric Mitchell. Be safe. Be strong, be smart, and God bless America.
Get to the point, sit and enjoy. This is Eric Mitchell, he the host of the show. Get to the point, he is the voice. We needed this, something more. This a daily show that's known for politics and the sports. Ain't no limit to whoever you may see at this point. To celebrities, Eric he's beast in the joint. As a veteran, put him at ease, then anoint. Every conversation can never be disappointed. Whether tragic or it's happy, Eric will cover whatever's happening. Whether it be your gymnast, toe tapping, talking about nearly any athlete, not taking a back seat. You're never gonna get it past T. Everybody running from it, it's a stampede. But he's on it like this man who took that knee. Mr. Mitchell's way too crafty. Get to the